Hi everybody, it's Life with Jade. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about things I wish I knew before becoming a homeowner. There's a few things that I wish I knew when we were buying a house that I think you guys should know as well, because when I got in here I was like, why didn't nobody say anything? Or if they did, I just didn't listen because I was very much in my own little world. One thing I wish I knew right off the hop was put an inspection clause in your contract so that if you find anything, you can back out and keep your deposit. That is one thing that I regret not doing about this house, was not getting an inspection. Thankfully, we didn't have anything too major that we had to fix right off the bat, but there were a few problems that I noticed when we moved in that it's like, we probably would have figured that out with the inspection. And tons of people kind of like shook their heads at us when they found out afterwards that we didn't get an inspection. If you're looking at buying a house, definitely go with paying for the inspection. It's $500 or $600 depending on where you are, but in the end, that $500 or $600 could literally save you thousands of dollars. And worst case scenario, if you have a good realtor, they can put it in your contract that you can just walk. And I think sometimes you get to keep your deposit as well. Another thing I wish I knew before becoming a homeowner was that there's always going to be a problem. And unless you bought a multi-million-dollar home that is like spick and span, has no issues, has all new everything, there's going to be a problem that you're going to have to fix. You know, like we fixed all of the other small problems, but there is a couple major problems that do have to be fixed. So just be aware that when you get in, there's always going to be something to fix, there's always going to be something to do, and have money for it and be prepared for it, because I was not. Another thing I wish I knew before becoming a homeowner is that pests are normal, and that's the tea. Mice and rats, when you have them, they're normal. There's such a big feeling of shame when you find out that you have mice or rats in your house, and you feel disgusting, you feel dirty, you know, you're like, who do I go to talk about this? But in the end, they're normal. I felt so ashamed finding out that we had mice in the house that I could have cried. When it happens to you, it feels so icky and you feel so bad about it, and it's not your fault anyways, but you still feel that feeling. And in the end, I want you all to know that if you buy a house and you find out it has mice or rats in it, nothing to be ashamed of. It's an easy fix. It may cost a little bit of money, it may cost a little bit of time and patience, but in the end, it's normal. The thing I wish I also knew about buying a house and becoming a homeowner is that when you think you're done spending money, you're actually not. Because once you get into the house, sometimes the things that you've bought for your previous place or you just had don't fit in your house. So you have to go and buy stuff. Like we had a queen size bed. We had a frame, a box spring, and the mattress, and the box spring didn't fit down here in our bedroom. So we had to go out and spend like $110 to go and get a platform bed so that we didn't need a box spring, because I couldn't even find an affordable split box spring. Awesome investment. There's also things like decor. You're gonna want to decorate your house, so you're gonna have to have money for that. You know, we thankfully live by a thrift store, so a lot of the things that we bought were from the thrift store. But I mean, if you're one of those people that just doesn't buy from the thrift store, you don't care, whatever, you're probably gonna need some extra money for that. So be prepared, have some money set aside. There's also going to be things such as like storage and whatnot, that if you get in there and you realize like, oh, we don't have a space to put this thing, you know, we're going to have to go and buy like a cabinet. For us, we didn't have any space for a pantry or our towels, so we had to go out and we had to buy a pantry, which was like $300. Not something I want to do again, but thankful we did. Anyways, I know this video was short, but I just wanted to talk to you about a few things I wish I knew before becoming a homeowner. And hopefully, if you are thinking about being in the same boat, you listen and you take something away from this, because I wish that I did a little bit more research. Anyways, I hope you all enjoy this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!